Today I will be reading from Sentinel, a publication for members and friends of the American Prairie Reserve, Summer 2018 edition. Soaring to Conservation Success, Birds of the Prairie by TRULY HERBERT. Birds, those humble, flittering wonders, play a star role in the life of the prairie. With more than 300 varieties that visit or call American Prairie Reserve (APR) their home, reserve lands provide ideal, diverse habitats for avian species. Take the loggerhead shrike, a carnivorous songbird that impales its prey on sharp objects, then caches the feed for later, or the long-billed curlew, a beautiful shorebird that uses the prairie as its mating grounds. The rich grassland of reserve lands welcomes interesting species like the burrowing owl, which nests in abandoned prairie dog burrows and hunts in the daylight, or the famed greater sage grouse, whose dramatic mating ritual entrances all who behold it. These birds and many more are an important part of the balance of the ecosystem, as predators, prey, seed spreaders, and even as indicators of the land's health. Grassland birds are the fastest declining type of birds in North America, according to conservation biologist and APR National Council advisor Dr. Kurt Fries, and some species are endemic to the area, so can only survive in the unique environment that the prairie offers. The prairie is special in that it has traditionally contained both short and tall grasses, forbs, and shrubs, plus riparian areas that shelter and feed all manner of diverse species. Important bird areas, IBAs. The lands that encompass and surround the reserve are part of an important bird and biodiversity area, IBA, a designation established by BirdLife International based in the United Kingdom and monitored by the Audubon Society of the United States. IBAs are lands with rich or significant vegetation or on birds' migratory pathways linked to other such areas for sustained conservation and are responsive to conservation efforts when implemented. By altering the natural vegetation for grazing, croplands, or development throughout the United States, humans have transformed the prairie so much that in some areas the landscape is becoming uninhabitable for birds and other native species that have resided there for millennia. The reserve's IBA covers an extensive region of primarily contiguous sagebrush, shrub, steppe, and prairie grassland. According to Dr. Karen Kunkel, APR's Director of Wildlife Restoration and Science, so restoring the land to its natural state is a huge win for the birds. APR's efforts on behalf of wildlife and us. At American Prairie Reserve, we are aiming to recreate the habitat that birds and other species evolved with, says Fries. A significant part of reclaiming the prairie for birds is, ironically, the reintroduction of a much larger species, the bison. As opposed to cattle grazing, bison grazing patterns are heterogeneous, so they move around the landscape in an uneven way, leaving some grass patches tall and munching on others, and that behavior allows different species of birds to thrive. Then, natural and controlled fires burn away the taller grasses and return crucial nutrients to the soil, which makes for better bison grazing, and the cycle goes on. Additionally, fences cause a great deal of bird mortality. Low-flying birds can crash into fences and tall structures, often upset the predator-prey balance by giving more advantage to the predator because of higher sight lines. By removing or marking fencing, burying power lines, and taking down poles in unused buildings, APR is returning the land to its natural state. Though APR has removed 70 miles of fencing thus far, there are hundreds of miles left to dismantle. Though the hard work of staff and the dedication of volunteer groups, a natural protected prairie is resurging for birds, wildlife, and humans to enjoy. And with the promise of a thriving wildlife community, APR and the surrounding area are sure to enjoy birders' ecotourism dollars through an increasing number of visitors to the area. A 2015 study published by the POLS Biology Journal found that $600 billion are spent on ecotourism yearly. Now that's something to chirp about.